Hey y'all, Junior here with Catalina Acres Homestead. We got a little taste test today. I've got a couple of steaks that I'm going to be throwing out on the grill. Actually, it's going to be on our wood stove, our outdoor kitchen that we're building slowly. Um, and I'm also going to be making some fresh corn tortillas with some poblano peppers, and I want to stuff them with cheese. Make some chile rellenos, and they'll be amazing, or at least they are for us. So we're gonna have Grandma and Alexander, our oldest. They will be tasting them. Like I said, my wife and I, we've had them before. So they are from a Dexter bull. It wasn't a steer; it was an actual bull, and he was about 2 years old. And we processed him last year, and he's been in our freezer. Half of him was sold off to one of our friends, and the other half was for us here. And we've had steaks, we've had a couple of stew meals. We made stew meals and some ground meat. And we're going to be making some steaks outdoors. I've had a couple of them here in the pans. I've made some in the pans inside, and they're good, but there's something about that charcoal, that the wood. I cook with whatever's here at our property. We've had a couple of trees that have fallen, and then our neighbor has also given us some of her trees that have fallen, so we use that as cooking fuel for us. And like, guys, you can't go wrong with oak, mesquite, hickory. You know, any of those hardwoods are good for steaks, for beef. And we're going to be using some of that here to make those steaks. So just stay tuned. Check it out. So this is store-bought, and it is the prime, the 2350 for a little under 2 pounds. And then these guys are the ones that we got from the processor. These are bone-in. The marbling is not all there, as you can see, compared to a prime. Well, they're about the same, a little bit more marbling there. But the fat, though, fat is different on these guys. When I take it out, I'm gonna wash these off, and then I'll put them back on so you can see what they look like. All right, so I cleaned these guys up, washed them down, and this is what they look like. So the marbling is, I want to say it's a little bit on the even side. Look at the fat on the store one versus that yellow fat from ours. Now, the bull was roughly, what do you think, about a year and a half?
No, he was
2 years old. But the color difference, I mean, you got a nice bright, I don't want to say bright red, but a darker red. And then you got a light red there. But again, pretty good fat on the store one. Just not a whole lot of marbling. I can ask my wife. She knows the difference, but she's going to tell right away. So I don't even want to let her know what I'm trying to do here. Oh, and I also made fresh tortillas. So we'll be making some tacos with these steaks. Just waiting for those coals to get a little bit better before I throw them on the grill. And all I'm going to do is throw a little bit of olive oil, some salt, and some pepper. And that is it. That's all that'll be going on those steaks. Okay, so I only did these two with a little bit of olive oil, and then these other two, I'm just going to throw them on the grill. A little bit of salt and pepper, and that's it. So here we go. It's on. There it is. I'm not the best at grilling stuff. I don't know exactly how long to leave them on there. I think I'm going to Google it right now while I put this video on pause. And we'll see what they look like. But I think that one's going to be done a lot faster because that's where all the fire is at. We're going to have to open this thing back up and adjust it. Oh man, those coals are looking pretty dang good. It's a good fire. Good fire. Good fire. So this grill is from an old grill that I used to have. I took those plates off. This is a comal. My dad found, I don't know if he found it or he made it. He might have made it a long time ago. But here's the plate holder right there. That sits right there, and then those plates go on those openings. But there we go, guys. Look, these things are starting to look pretty good. That fat. Can't wait to see what that looks like. Like I said, my wife and I have had these before. I don't think our older son has, but he's here, so we're gonna give him. He'll be the test. I don't want to say dummy, but we'll use him as our guinea pig taste tester, I guess. Yeah. Is that a word? This one's getting a little smoky right there. I don't like that. Now again, bone in, so that's where all the flavor's at. Might not be a fair test. My wife is cleaning those poblanos over here. What we're going to do with those, we're going to throw them back on a little pan, and then we're going to put some cheese in them, and we're going to eat them.
Everything is better with cheese.
So, you've had the steaks before, right?
Yes, we've eaten steaks and they were delicious.
Oh yeah, and look, we have this little, I think it's like a riblet, I guess. I'm just going to throw this on here. Just going to let it cook. Little riblet. Okay. I think I want to wait too long because the fire's pretty good. Oh yeah. A little too crispy there for my liking. Look at that fat too. Like I said,
Open fire is my favorite, but I might have a little too much fire on these guys. So the chickens are going crazy over here because we had some pork in our refrigerator. Had a pork taint or boar taint, I guess, and we had to go ahead and cook it, and it's not gonna go to waste, guys. That never goes to waste. So the chickens will come eat some, but that's gonna be for our dogs. It'll be lunch, dinner, breakfast, snack. We have a bunch of ribs right there too. It's just when we were cooking it inside the house, you could definitely smell the taint, and it was just not. It was not the greatest. And truthfully, my wife was just against the whole smell, and definitely the taste. After a while, like you notice it. And I, for one, was not going to be cooking it. So I did it outside. I turned the fire on. I had a bunch of wood here and went ahead and did it out here, and I could still smell it while I was cooking it. As you can see, the chickens are going crazy over it right now. The dog's already had about, I don't know, 5 or 6 ribs, so he's over it, and I think he's gonna go have some fun with the boys. The boys are out there. Gabriel has a friend of his that came to hang out with him. So they're out there on the field. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but they're play fighting, I guess. I don't know. Either way, boys will be boys. Ooh. Burger King ain't got nothing on me on that one. That one's not too bad either. I like it. So that right there will probably be my piece. I'm gonna cut that off. I like the burn ends. I mean, that is starting to burn, actually. All right, guys. So again, these two were olive oil, salt, and pepper, and these two are gonna be just salt and pepper, and that's it. So there it is. The first two are out. We're going to let those guys rest there for a bit. These two are cooking or grilling. So a little bit about where I'm doing this. I'm doing this in our old barn. This used to be a barn. We used to have the milking station right in this corner. And then we were able to get that big barn over there when we had a storm last year, or this year, earlier this year. The horse stalls that we had, there was a pretty heavy wind storm that came through and flipped it over. And you know, it's one of those like, oh shoot moments. What are we gonna do? Luckily, no animals were hurt. And one of our friends that's right down the street said, hey guys, call y'all's insurance. So we did. We called the insurance and we waited for them to come out, take a look at it. And about a week before that storm came through, some trees had fallen as well. So the adjuster came out and he took a look at all the damages that were done and everything else. With along with the horse stall was the trees that had fallen, and tallied everything up, and they gave us a pretty good. They cut us a check on the spot. So my wife said, hey, we have 2 options. We can either use it for the barn, or we can leave it in savings. And at that time, it was get our I want to call it our dream barn, because it's the barn that she wanted, the colors, the style. For my liking, I would have liked it a little bit bigger, but it's going to do what we need it to do, which is protect our cows. And it's also going to be the new milking stanchion area right in that little door, or not little, it's a good sized door right there. That's where we're going to put it. So from about a foot from that right side opening all the way across this way, which is going to be about give or take 14 feet. That is going to be a kitchen. And in that kitchen, that's where we're going to be processing a lot of the milk that we get from our milk cows, which are out there in the field, in the pasture. And my wife and I have made butter. I like to make cheese. I like to say I'm not the greatest, but I like to make cheese. So queso fresco is my favorite cheese to make right now, and I say that because it's probably the easiest one that you can make. I'll probably be making a video of that later on. And then butter, we make butter, and we've also made ghee. We made our own ghee, and it lasted quite a bit. That was the first year. It wasn't the first year. It was the first year we were here. We were milking one of our cows, and that's where we started doing a lot of that. So again, we'll be building a kitchen in there. One of our roosters decided to chime in. Baby, can you give me some more oil? And you can just put it right here. And then, so on the opening of the barn will be for a little bit of storage, and then the other side across from the milking stanchion and the kitchen, that's where we're going to have our cows. And there's a roll-up door on one side. There's the barn doors. The barn doors on the front side, and then on where the cows are going to be at, they have a little door just like that side door right there. There's a side door over there for them to come in and out. And what we're going to do, we're going to be extending the roof line to give more coverage for all the cows, and that way they can go in, and when we get these rains that come through, or these crazy storms, they'll have a place to go and get some shelter. So there it is, guys. Ours, store-bought. Ours, store-bought. And then here's this little riblet right here. I should probably throw this bad boy back on, because that's going to be tough. I already know that's going to be tough. That needs to be cooked slow and long, very, very long. So we'll see how that one comes out. I probably won't show the video on this one, but there it is. We will be taking these bad boys inside and have our son and mother-in-law try them out, and they can tell us what their favorite is. So we didn't make the chiles that I wanted. Instead, we're just gonna go ahead and make it a cheese dip. And it's not gonna be a dip. We'll get a couple of pieces of cheese and melt it in here. I had overcooked the chiles, or over roasted the chiles, so they were breaking up when she was peeling them, and it wasn't going to work out the way I wanted them. But either way, I mean, it's still the same thing. The only thing we got going on here is that we'll just throw that queso in there, and then we will eat it like that. It'll still be delicious. We'll put it in a tortilla, and it'll be a chile con queso taco. Can't go wrong with that. You cannot go wrong with that. So the steaks are still resting here, and those guys will be going in inside. And like I said, we got some fresh tortillas that we're going to be putting them in. So here we go. So this is the queso con chile, or chile con queso, whichever way you want to say it. It's done. This was Swiss cheese from our little local store here, Berkshire's. pretty sure in East Texas, if you're near a little town, everybody's got them. There it is, guys. All done. This is going to be going inside now. Okay, so here it is. We have both of our steaks. I know which ones they are. I know which one is a store-bought. I don't know which one is the one that we processed last year. So I've got Grandma and Alexander that is going to be testing them. So these are already cut, Grandma. So you can grab a whole strip or just a little bite. And this is one steak, and that's another steak. So go ahead. You can pick the piece that you want to try.
This one.
Alexander, you want to get that other piece right there?
Pretty tasty.
It's tasty. Okay. Now, all I had was salt and pepper. That was it. Okay? Nothing else. Okay, so try this one now. Grandma likes to cut the fat off. That's okay. Go ahead, Alexander. Get that other little piece. Okay, guys. This one or that one? The first one or the second one, Alexander? Ready? Go.
Definitely the first one.
Definitely the first one?
Yeah.
Grandma, the first one? There it is, guys. Ours, store-bought.
Wow.
You can definitely see the difference.
You can see the difference, yes. But what about the taste? That's what I was more...
That one, it's a more pronounced
The
taste.
color is richer on this side.
Definitely, right? Now, I cooked them the same way. This one might have been a little bit faster, but the finish is still pretty much the same.
Yeah.
You can tell that it's still medium rare, which is the way I like to eat it, which is now the way Grandma likes to eat it too. So,
Very good.
there it is.
That's a good test.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.